This house was built in 1882. The world-famous poet Ezra Pound, a friend of my grandfather, was born here. It's well-maintained and still standing strong. But is it energy efficient? Unfortunately, most older homes waste energy and money. Many Hailey buildings were constructed before energy codes and inspections were enforced. Our next project looks at modern ways to improve energy efficiency and save money. An easy thing a person can do for themselves and the environment is make sure their home or business is energy efficient. There are many things do-it-yourselfers or professional contractors can do to improve a home, and almost every effort will save money in the long run. An average home made more energy efficient can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 15%, equaling 1.5 tons a year. To facilitate home energy saving, the city created a program called Save a Watt. Citizens participating in workshops were educated on energy efficiency and became eligible for rebates on some costs. One climate challenge partner, the South Central Community Action Partnership, even helped ensure that income-eligible households could participate. People from all walks of life were interested, and Eric Tiles was one of 70 who took advantage of the program. The first step in Eric's retrofit was to have a certified energy auditor visit and assess his home.
What we have here is a blower door. This is a device that pressurizes the house in order to measure the amount of air infiltration or air leakage in the house. Air will be coming into the house to replace what we are sucking out of it with this device. You can definitely feel some significant air infiltration at these doors. There is an enormous amount of air coming in under the bottom of that door, straight up into your attic. So as you can see, we can use the blower door and the smoke generator to find the leaks in your house. Another tool that we have is this infrared camera. So with this camera, we can look for places where insulation might be missing, in the attic, in the walls, and that's really helpful because you can't access some of those places without major surgery on your home. We've got blown-in insulation that is varying in depth throughout the attic because what happens is the installation happens and then people have to access things and it gets moved around and pushed around and compressed. And as that happens, it becomes less effective. We're looking at a recessed can light from down below. So that recessed can light is about 95 degrees and that heat's coming right into the attic. The crawl space is a accessible place for major improvement for energy efficiency in the home. So from ductwork to hot water pipes to the stem wall and the rim of the floor joist, there are places for improvement with the crawl space. So this is a pretty typical heat signature for an exterior door. 10-degree difference here between the door and the siding. This door may be a candidate for better weather stripping. We'll look at it a little bit more.
The energy audit identified what needed to be upgraded and the possible energy cost savings of a sound retrofit. With that information, it was time to get to work.
As you can see, we've put in some new windows here. I've actually built these windows out 2 inches because I'm going to cover the walls with a polyiso insulation. And I'm adding 2 inches because that's going to increase my insulation value by about an R13. By doing that, I'm going to create a thermal envelope where what I'm trying to do is kind of emulate a thermos bottle where I'm going to trap heat inside the house. When all's said and done, I'm hoping to achieve about an R value of 29, trying to create an airtight building, warm in the cool months, cool in the summer months, ultimately save as much money as I can.
With his own ingenuity and the help of friends, Eric's home will save him money each month and reduce greenhouse gases each year for the life of the building. Another aspect of the Save a Watt project was encouraging technologies like solar energy generation. More workshops were held and participants received rebate awards along with other financial incentives.
I got involved because it's been an interest of mine since I was a child, minimizing my impact on the world. I'm a teacher, and so I wanted to know how this worked. And there's no moving parts. These tubes get stuck up into a horizontal piece, and water is being pumped through that top part. And the water comes in one temperature, and it picks up the heat along, I think there are 30 tubes, and by the time it comes out, on a sunny day, it's 180 degrees, and it comes back down very hot into this tank. And then there's a coil inside here, and that coil is attached to my main water heater, and the main water heater gets hot. In fact, too hot. So when that hot water is called for in the house, it goes out, but it mixes with some incoming cold water. So by the time it gets to the faucet, it's just nice and hot, not scalding hot. In the winter, the other part of the system will be working, and that is heat from this storage tank is going to be transferred through a radiator into the furnace. And if it gets warmed up enough, then the fire won't even come on, and it just goes back into the house. The first month, I got my bill from Idaho Gas Company, and it said 0 therms. I thought, cool. You don't have to just look at the payback time. Does it give you pleasure to see your meter spin backwards? Does it give you pleasure to see the solar array on the house, thinking that you're getting energy from the sun? If it does, then that's a good reason to proceed with it.
These solar installations have an average payback of 7 years. After that, it's net profit for the homeowners and reduced greenhouse gases for all of us.